All right, class. This is a welcome video to the course. I don't know how long this will go. I'm just going to kind of wing it, but I'd like to just give you an idea of what we're going to be doing this semester, what you can expect, go through the syllabus and show you a few things on the course website. Um, just so you know, I'll be posting pretty much, I think every week I've got it set up to post. On the news feed here, the course home, to describe what you need to be paying attention to for the current week and sometimes for the subsequent week if we have assignments coming up. So you're going to want to pay attention to the news feed here. My goal is to email the class once a week with updates as well. Um, I'll be doing videos like this throughout the semester for different things. We'll see how it all turns out. Just want to welcome you to Capstone. This class is, I think, very cool. It's challenging. It does sort of stress some students out because you have to manage your own project and you're putting together a lot of things that you have been exposed to and studied throughout the last 2 years. Um, so it's a little bit of an opportunity to put into practice some of the things that you've learned, and that can be stressful. So let's all just take a deep breath and recognize we're going to get through it. Semester's only 4 months, and then we'll move on with our lives. So another thing is that I've updated the course for this semester. We have different faculty teach this class, and so there's going to be material from different faculty that you'll see throughout the site. And so just recognize it's a team effort. Also, in having updated everything, I've done my best to update all the dates and everything and all the materials. There may be some things that I missed because there's a lot of detail on this particular site. So, when it comes to due dates, I believe the syllabus and the Dropbox are in line. I usually tell students to pay attention to the dates on the Dropbox. If anything on an assignment or on the website or wherever doesn't line up with the Dropbox is the date. So if there's any sort of discrepancy, then go with the Dropbox date for your assignments. All right, so this is where you're going to find news, updates, and everything for the course. There is a welcome here talking about the overall project for the semester, and then the first thing you have to do this week, which is the Introduction to Public Health topic of interest. So if you click on that, that is a discussion board where you let's see. I never really know how these things work. Let's see. Let's view. Okay. Okay. I thought that would be discussion list. Okay. Yeah, that's not a great link to go to. So if you click on this here, it doesn't really give you the description, but if when you click from the news page, if you go to discussion list here, it'll take you to this page that has kind of a description of what we need. So you want to post a quick intro of yourself to the rest of the class. Just let us know who you are, expectations for the class, provide some information on the public health topic you're interested in working on for the course. So for some of you, this will be pretty well formulated, and others, this range from people who have a great idea and you maybe even have data to not really being sure and having to kind of think it through. So we'll all just kind of work together on it. So when you post, try to think of the issue that you're interested in terms of determinants or exposures related to outcomes or health states, right? So an example that I've given here is smoking and lung cancer. So what is this issue that sort of does, because we're going to be doing an analysis this semester, you're going to want to be looking at how an exposure may or may not influence an outcome. So thinking in those terms from the beginning is a good idea. We've also got some, I think this is all visible. It should be. I sure hope so. There's a few other discussion boards here. There's some sources for public health data that you can reference here that may help you identify the data that you're working with. So we will be securing a publicly available data set that contains individual level data. So that is, each row has an individual participant or record that's associated with that row, and along the row you have data points that are collected on that particular individual record. So we're not going to be working with aggregate data or summaries or anything like that. We're going to be working with individual level data for our analyses. So these are some examples of some places where you might be able to find those kinds of data. So this introduction and public health topic of interest is a grade for the course. It's your very first grade. So we want to get that in, and then I can enter your grade for that. So you want to make sure that you're on top of that. Okay, so moving on to the content of the course. I think I've made all of this just visible. It's not going to open throughout the semester. I'm just going to leave it all out there. Now, there might be some things that I change as we move through the semester because I haven't necessarily gone through and made sure that I don't want to re-record some videos or things like that. So, for instance, this date is wrong, right? So I think you're supposed to have it in by 2/9/26. So this is in reference to your raw data set. So this is your student data repository. And I'm going to click on this. And I'm going to tell you what, I was just trying to record a video for you guys, and this wasn't working. Not because of the link. I'm almost convinced it's not because of the link. I don't know what's going on with it, but I think something with my computer, it's not pulling it up. It will. I will fix it if it doesn't, but when you click on it, you should see my OneDrive, and I've created folders for everyone in the class. And so you'll be directed to submit your data to the folder that has your name on it. There are a few times throughout the semester where you're asked to submit to the student data repository. And so, there'll be links and there'll be directions to all of that. So along those lines, as far as what you're asked to do, let's go ahead and look at the syllabus here. And it's going to look like this. I'm going to move it over here. Okay. All right. So the course is online, asynchronous, meaning we don't have a regular meeting time every week. This is my office here. I'm not there very often. If you're interested in meeting with me in my office, we'll have to schedule that. I respond to email pretty regularly. I also have a booking link. So let's see if I can get this to work here. Okay. Okay. So what I've done for the booking link, the course, there was going to be an on-ground section, and that would have met between 9 and noon on Wednesdays. So I have set up a booking link for those hours every week. So if you're interested in meeting with me, you can just come here and you can book a 30-minute time slot with me. So I think I say here, I don't think I guess you can't read it. It's not very useful. But it says that if these hours don't work, then email me and we'll schedule a time outside of these booking hours. And if these hours don't work for anybody, then we'll set up a whole new booking link. That booking link is found in a few different places on the website. So we'll make sure you see that. We do have a help desk. There's a doctoral student third year that's going to be working that help desk, and she's very, very helpful, has done this for a couple of semesters. And so I'll be directing you to reach out to them for help quite a bit, because that's part of the work that she's doing this semester is supporting the class through the help desk. We don't have a textbook. There's the purpose of the course. We have the competencies. I'm going to skip on down here. Just want to show you the sort of layout. So yeah, so the discussion board post, that's the intro, and the public health topic of interest is due the first week. And then we've got a couple of weeks where there's material for you to work through. This course is not necessarily about consuming content as much as it is synthesizing content that you've already been exposed to in the program. So there is some new content or reiteration of content throughout this course, but it's really about you working on your project. So we get into week 4. By week 4, I want you to upload your raw data set into the student repository. So that means that you, in this time here, the first 4 weeks, the first month, you have to decide what your public health topic is, go out and seek the data and secure the data and then submit it to the repository so we can look at it and talk about it and make sure that it's going to work for what you're trying to do. Through that process, you're going to want to be tracking on how you're going through the effort of identifying data sources, and then you're also going to be doing a literature review. So, you're going to be deciding if there's a gap in the literature, a need for this work, alongside identifying the data that can help you do the work that you're interested in doing. So all that sort of needs to happen at once, and that's within the first 6 weeks of the semester. That's how far we're getting, which is, a good amount of time, but this is a lot of work. And so it's going to require a good amount of effort and attention. A couple weeks later, you're going to be submitting the data preparation and analysis plan. So that's where you talk to us about the variables that you're going to be using. You're going to be actually cleaning the data down to your analytics sample, and submitting that revised sort of subset of the raw data to the repository again, and then tell us how you plan to analyze the data. So there's a component of cleaning the data and doing a little bit of descriptive work so that we can see the frequencies of the data that are available, and then tell us how you're going to analyze it moving forward. And then in a couple, 3 weeks later, your analysis code and output are due. So we support SAS in this program. So I encourage you to use SAS for this analysis. I can help you most with that effort. If you're wanting to use other software, we can talk about it. I'm less capable of supporting things like R. I don't have as much experience in. So you'll be submitting your analysis code work and the output from that code annotated in week 11. Then you're going to do a written data presentation or a data report, then an oral presentation recorded through PowerPoint, and then ultimately a final product for stakeholders. This is some descriptions of those particular assignments. I encourage you to read those. And then here is a breakdown of the grading in the course. You can see the written product is heavily weighted in the course, as it's a big deal to get to that point. So that is the structure of the course. Let's see, I'm gonna close this here and let's go to the Dropbox just to see everything. So yeah, you can see our due dates here. So literature review and identification of data sources due February 23rd, March 15th. We've got the preparation plan, April 6th, analysis code and output, April 13th, the data report, April 20th, the presentation, and then May 4th is your final product. So all of that stuff will be submitted here. Other than there'll be some specific elements of assignments that will be submitted to the student data repository. Just as an example here, I'm going to open up the data preparation and analysis plan assignment, and you can see there's a few things to look at here. There will be a companion video for each assignment. So, these assignments will be posted on the weeks that we encourage you to make sure you're starting. And there'll be a video sort of going through the structure And so for this one thing to just I want to point out, I'm not going to go into this because there'll be that video coming up, but this element here is so it states that you submitted your raw data set to the folder. Let's see if this works actually. I wonder if it's that link. Something going on with my OneDrive. Let's get back over here. Okay. So it says that you submitted your raw data. And so for this assignment, you'll need to clean and prepare your selected analysis data set that includes your variables of interest only and upload it to the same folder. So please tag the data set with _analytic on the end of the file name. So much of what you do to respond to this assignment will be submitted to the D2L Dropbox. However, your analytic data set will be submitted to the student data repository. For anyone who needs sort of an explanation why we're asking for all of this stuff, for me to support you in working out any trouble you're having with your analysis or your data, it is incredibly helpful for me to have access to your data. So we established this process for having you all give us your data so that we can work with it and most effectively support you. So that's what that is all about. Let's see. Back to the home page here. We've gone through the syllabus. There's some other things that I'll point out later in the semester, but that's really where we're at. This looks like what it does right now. I think I'm going to post this video on the homepage above this so you can see it. But I really do enjoy this class. I think that it's really good for students to go through this process as we're finishing out the program. It's a good way to make mistakes and learn from them before getting into a job where you're expected to know how to do all of this already without making any mistakes. So that's the goal. It's a low impact or low risk environment for doing practical public health data work. So I look forward to hearing from all of you, and let's have a happy semester.